The moment I parked my sleek new Bentley Continental GT in front of my luxurious beachside mansion in Santa Monica, I knew someone was watching. Before I even turned off the engine, I spotted her in my rearview mirror. A middle-aged woman with platinum blonde hair and an expensive pair of oversized sunglasses was storming toward me like a woman on a mission. Her floral sundress fluttered behind her as she briskly walked across the sidewalk, her expression already twisted with suspicion. "Excuse me?" she shouted, her voice rising even through the closed windows. "Who are you and what are you doing with that car?" I calmly stepped out, keys in hand. "Hello, I'm David, the new homeowner here. Just moved in today." She gave me a cold, scrutinizing look, her eyes lingering on my casual attire, a simple black t-shirt and jeans. It was clear she wasn't impressed by my outfit. "That's impossible," she snapped, folding her arms in disbelief. "The Johnson sold to a professional, not a kid. You can't afford that car." "I'm 25, actually," I said with a polite smile. "And yes, I purchased the Johnson's property last month. The paperwork was finalized, and I'm now the owner." Her eyes narrowed even further as she circled around my car like a hawk, getting dangerously close. "No one your age drives a car like that unless they've stolen it," she muttered, already pulling out her phone. "I'm calling the police. We don't tolerate criminals around here." Before I could respond, she had already dialed 911 and was speaking loudly enough for the entire neighborhood to hear. "Hello, yes, I'm at 2212 Coastal Road," she began. "There's a suspicious young man with a stolen luxury vehicle. I believe this is a grand theft auto situation. Please hurry before he escapes." I sighed and pulled out my own phone, texting my assistant about the delay. It seemed I wasn't going to get an easy move-in day after all. The woman ended her call, her smile more triumphant than ever. "The police will be here any minute. You better not try to run," she warned. "I'm not going anywhere," I assured her. "This is my house and my car. But I don't think I caught your name." She stood straighter, puffing out her chest with pride. "I'm Karen Anderson," she said with authority, "president of the Sunset Beach Homeowners Association for 8 years, and you definitely don't look like a resident of our community." Of course, her name was Karen. I had to suppress a chuckle at the irony. "Well, Karen," I replied calmly, "I assure you I am the legal owner of both the house and the car." I reached into my pocket to pull out my ID. "Would you like to see the deed to the house as well? I have everything on file." She waved away my driver's license dismissively without even looking at it. "I've seen enough fake IDs in my time," she scoffed. "The HOA has a strict vetting process for new residents, and I don't recall approving anyone like you, especially not someone with a car like that." Her tone shifted from skeptical to hostile, and I felt the undercurrent of discrimination in her words. But I didn't let it rattle me. I took a deep breath and explained, "The HOA doesn't approve individual buyers, Karen. The Johnsons accepted my offer, my financing was cleared, and the sale closed legally. I'm now a resident of Sunset Beach, whether the HOA president personally approved me or not." Her face turned crimson and her eyes flashed with rage. "We'll see about that, and we'll certainly see about that car," she sneered. "No one your age can afford a $250,000 car unless something shady is going on. Did you hack someone's account? Is this a money laundering scheme?" She started pacing around my car, snapping photos from every angle, including the license plate. A few neighbors began stepping out of their homes, watching the scene unfold with increasing interest. It seemed Karen was feeding off her growing audience. "I've seen this scam before," she declared, raising her voice to carry across the street. "Young person shows up with luxury items they couldn't possibly afford legitimately. Next thing you know, we're dealing with drug deals and shady business in our nice neighborhood." I opened the glove compartment of my Bentley and retrieved the vehicle registration and insurance documents. "Karen, I'm a tech entrepreneur. My company was just acquired last year. Here's the registration to prove this car is mine, legally purchased from a Beverly Hills dealership." She squinted at the papers I offered, but refused to take them. "Oh, please, anyone can forge documents. My cousin works in cybersecurity, and he's warned me about criminals like you all the time." At that moment, two police cruisers pulled into the cul-de-sac, lights flashing. Karen's face shifted from anger to smug satisfaction as she straightened her floral sundress and prepared to play the role of the victim. "Officers, thank goodness you're here," she exclaimed, rushing toward them. "This young man is driving a stolen luxury vehicle. He's trying to say he lives here, but I'm the HOA president and I know all legitimate residents." The two officers approached cautiously, one older with graying hair and the other younger and clean-shaven. "Sir, we received a call about a possible stolen vehicle," the older officer said, his tone firm but professional. "Can I see your license and registration?" "Of course, officer," I said calmly, handing over the documents. "I'm David Cole. I just closed on this property today, and this lady accused me of stealing my own car." The younger officer took the papers and examined them carefully, while his partner stayed alert, watching the scene. Karen, however, wasn't done. She kept speaking over the officer, repeating that I was obviously using fake documents. "He's faking it," Karen insisted. "There's no way someone his age can afford this car. This is a $250,000 vehicle. He's a scammer." The older officer raised an eyebrow, but remained polite. "Ma'am, please step back and let us do our job." The younger officer continued running my information through their system. "Everything checks out, sir," he said quietly to his partner. "Vehicle is registered to him, insurance is current, and the deed transfer was recorded with the county last month." Karen, overhearing this, began to panic. "That's impossible. Check again. He's probably hacked the system. People like him don't drive cars like that." The officer turned to her. "Ma'am, what do you mean by people like him?" Karen faltered for a moment, but quickly recovered. "Young people. No one under 30 should have a car like that. There's something illegal going on here. I'm just trying to protect our community." Just then, an elderly neighbor from across the street stepped forward. "Officers, I think you should see this," he said, holding up his phone. "My security camera captured everything from the moment she rang the doorbell." Karen's expression shifted from confident outrage to nervous uncertainty as the neighbor played the footage for the officers. "I'd be happy to email you the footage, the continued clip including the part where Mrs. Anderson used some rather unfortunate language before you arrived." "What language would that be?" the younger officer asked. "Well, she said, 'We don't need his kind bringing down our property values.' And she also said she would make sure he's removed from this neighborhood." Karen's face went pale. "That's completely out of context," she shouted. "I was just expressing concern about property values." The older officer remained calm. "Ma'am, your documentation doesn't add up. You've been harassing this family for months, and now your 911 call was flagged as false. I'm placing you under arrest for filing a false police report and misuse of emergency services." Karen's face cycled through disbelief, outrage, and finally fear. "This is ridiculous. I'm the president of the HOA. You can't arrest me for protecting the neighborhood." But they did. As they guided Karen toward the police cruiser, she glared at me. "This isn't over," she spat. "I think it is," I replied calmly. The neighbors watched in stunned silence as Karen was placed in the back of the police car.